Prosecutors say Perez returned to the apartment a third time, again opening fire on the victim.
That's hate. That's hate.
Where you at,
Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to he got tricked into smashing a transgender, then tragedy struck. This is a reality that I believe no straight man should ever have to endure. It's crazy, it's sad, you know, obviously I don't wish any violence onto anybody, but being tricked, I think it's just not right, man. Be upfront. I don't care who you are, what you are, how you do it. I don't care. I respect it. Good for you. But if you're truly confident in yourself and you truly doing and being whatever you want to be, make sure you know showing that transparency to the partner or person that you're pursuing so that they can truly love you for who you say you are. But right after you're done watching this video, make sure you guys go check out my collab channel with my brother Astral Dior. Over there we will be reacting to true crime, a little bit of scary videos here and there. So if that's something you're into, definitely go check us out. The link will be in the description. Now let's get right into it.
Let's assume you're inside of a grocery store and you catch this lady looking at you, staring at you, giving you the eye. And at first you look back and look to the side to see if that lady is looking at you or looking at somebody else, because this typically don't happen to you. And you know, she looking fly, you know what I'm saying? You liking what you see. So you decide to go over and talk to her. She tell you her name is Hazel. And you're like, well, hey, you know, my name is such and such, and I'd like to, you know, hang out with you later. She's like, cool, that's fine. You know, and things is going rather easy, because it don't really go this easy like that. And you call her, she says, hey, let's meet up for lunch. You go to lunch and let's go back to the house, and you know, booty clapping sounds.
Hell no.
Yes, everything is cool, but there's only one problem. Hazel was born a man.
Yeah, man, you know, and I get it from, you know, the transgender's perspective. It's like, when's the right time to say it? Before having intercourse, before having relations. Don't let it get that far. Don't let it get that far. I get it if it's not the very first word that comes out of your mouth, but don't even let that nigga kiss you without you letting him know, bro. Because you're gonna destroy that man's pride, bro. You're gonna mess him up in the head, dude. And it's just not right. It's just not right. I understand. I don't think it should be the very first word that comes out of your mouth. You guys shake hands and you just say, hey, by the way, you know, because that might just throw a nigga off. I mean, yeah, definitely gonna throw a nigga off. Definitely throw me off. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But I get if you just want to keep it a little bit respectful, but let it be known. You have to communicate. There is no way that you should be kissing up on a man and having relations with him and he doesn't know what you got going on. Bro, I'm not saying it's right, but this is why niggas crash out, because it's so like the psyche behind it is just like, what the fuck? What you like, bro? Nah, it's too crazy.
That's right, Hazel was transgender. So my question to you is, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Rewind! This is what happened with a young man in Chicago by the name of Orlando Perez.
Investigators say the teenage suspect was so enraged that after shooting the victim multiple times, he left and then returned to the crime scene to open fire once again.
Oh my God. See, as I'm telling you, if you opening up a different pathway into their brain, like the brain just shut off and crash out, complete blackout. It's not right. And bro does deserve to go to jail. I'm sure he did. You know what I'm saying? We've seen the mugshot, but it's like, I can only imagine the rage and confusion. I'm not saying that's what I would do, but don't test me.
Police say video from the neighborhood led them to the alleged 18-year-old Orlando Perez, now held without bond. Investigators say Perez had gone home with the victim, 37-year-old Selena Reyes Hernandez, shortly after meeting her on the morning of May 31st. And in her basement apartment in Marquette Park, Perez learned Reyes Hernandez was transgender.
The offender became very upset. He left the residence. He became more upset.
and that's when he came back to the residence, and then he brutally murdered the victim in this case.
Prosecutors say Perez returned to the apartment a third time, again opening fire on the victim's...
That's hate. That's hate. It's already over with. You leave and come back just to let some more shit off. That's hate on a different level. Wow.
Lifeless body.
And in this case with Orlando Perez, the transgender woman was much older than he was. In the 30s. This was a young guy, 18, which leads me to believe that, you know, although it was legal for the transgender to be messing with this young man, he was young, okay? And he was impressionable. He just didn't know that this person was not born a woman. He actually had to find out when he got there. The problem was when he found out, he shouldn't have came back and gunshots. That was the issue, right?
Yeah,
that was premeditated murder. And that's why he's in jail right now. That part of the situation was against the law. But it was also wrong of this person to make him believe that they were a woman when in fact he found out that they were not. And who knows how far they were getting into it. Basically, the transgender individual should have let the person know up front that
100%, bro.
I am born a man and now this. Then he would have had the opportunity to choose a situation. But also, that's not the only case. The biggest case of them all is trending all across Highland Park, Michigan, which is right outside of Detroit. There was a young man who was 17 at a time by the name of Carlos Lamar Scotland. He came across Aisha Davis. Looking at Aisha Davis or Asia Davis, from what I'm seeing right now, this to me looks like a woman that was born a woman. He's a young kid looking to clap some cheeks. He goes in there. Boop.
That nigga's pissed.
What clapping sounds? Then he finds out that this particular individual is not born a woman. And if this information gets out, man, it's gonna be bad. So this is the decision that he made.
A cold murder case is finally...
Oh my God, bro. You could just see the hate in his mugshot, bro.
solved. Let's get out to Highland Park and Sean
That
Lay.
nigga do not regret that shit. That's crazy.
A woman was shot and killed last summer. Sean, you have news of a big break in this case.
Truly a big break. A tragedy here at the Woodward Inn, but it happened months ago. Really just one clue to this one is this. 24-hour video, good cameras here. That gave MSP something to go on. They truly called this investigation a whodunit. Well, it has been solved, and now Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy made the announcement today.
She was beloved in her community, and she was known to be generous and a compassionate person, according to her family and many, many friends.
Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy highlighting the tragic and mysterious murder of Asia Davis. Let me take you back to June 1st, 2023, and the Woodward Inn in Highland Park. A security camera capturing this person coming in, then running out. But that person wasn't captured for months. That night, police finding the body of the 36-year-old Asia Davis in her room. She had been shot in her head.
Damn. It is alleged that the defendant...
In the head? Damn. That's cold-blooded. That's like that movie shit.
Shot and killed her. At the time of her death, she had recently completed nursing school and was going to start a new job when her life was tragically cut short.
At last, a break.
That nigga don't regret that shit, bro. Look at it, bro. What?
In what was a very cold case. This 18-year-old Carlos Lamar Scotland was arrested this week and charged with Davis's murder.
Carlos Lamar Scotland is 18 years old. He has been charged with the following offenses: first-degree murder, felony firearm, carrying a concealed weapon, and resisting and obstructing a police officer.
Back here live at the Woodward Inn in Highland Park. That's an 18-year-old now facing all of those charges. Prosecutor Worthy says we'll learn more about the circumstances of what went down here when he goes to court in a couple of weeks.
And just recently, he went viral again for doing this inside of the courtroom.
Today was the first day of testimony in the trial of a man accused of killing a transgender woman in Highland Park.
But the proceedings ended abruptly when the defendant fell asleep. CBS News Detroit's Andres Gutierrez joins
I'm telling you, he didn't give a fuck, bro.
us from 30th District Court with what exactly happened in that courtroom.
Well, before this morning's proceedings got underway, the defendant, Carlos Scotland, was talking to his attorney, mouthing something to someone in the gallery. But once the first witness took the stand, well, he couldn't stay awake.
Mrs. Scotland, are you okay?
Many in the courtroom saw this as pure disrespect.
Is your client still awake?
Carlos Scotland dozing off as the lead investigator recounted the inconsistencies during his interrogation of the 18-year-old charged with the June 2023 murder of Asia Davis at the Woodward Inn.
Did the defendants ever suggest that there was some type of altercation in the room?
Yes.
And when you look at that picture, sir, is there anything that would suggest there was a struggle or altercation in that room?
Not at all.
MSP Detective James Plummer says Scotland eventually admitted to shooting Davis.
And could you tell us, what did he say as it relates to that, sir?
That he, after the victim swung at him, that he shot the victim in the face or neck area.
Okay. And are you familiar with the medical examiner's report in this case, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And was the victim shot in the face or the neck, sir?
No.
In fact, where was she actually shot?
In the back of the head.
Literally.
Damn.
In the back of the head at close range, correct?
Yes.
Did he ever correct that part of it?
No.
Scotland initially claimed it was all done in self-defense after she allegedly attacked him with a knife.
He initially said that that he had took the knife and discarded it in a field. He then recanted that and said that.
Yeah, he's just trying to build some shit. I don't think that's how that went down. I really don't think that's how that went down. I genuinely think it's exactly what it sounded like. But Shorty, she should have said something though, bro. Like, again, he's not justified in doing what he did. I don't think no nigga's justified in taking another man's life, right? But I don't want to say what do you expect, but it's just like, yo, that's fucked up. It's really fucked because let's just say it didn't play out like this. Now that man, as a straight man, he's been a straight man his entire life. He's only liked women. That's what he's into. You now gonna put him through the trauma of having to live with that for the rest of his life. Like, yo, like I didn't sign up for that. I didn't think I was signing up for that. It's one thing if you told me and I made that decision, but you tricked me. And now I got to live with that as a man. And again, I'm sure my fellow brothers out there understand the pride and shame that comes with that as a man. Some ladies might not understand how important that is to us, how much that will fuck a nigga head up. Like, again, I don't care if you swing that way. I don't care if you're a man that's into men. Cool. Shout out to you, bro. I'm not like, but as a straight guy and you're not into men and you get tricked into sleeping with a man, what? Niggas, like, nobody's trying to do that, bro. That'll fuck a nigga's head up. And again, it's not justified at all. This guy's in jail where he belongs. He did a heinous crime. You know, I don't think she should have lost her life over that, but you also are playing with fire when you put people in those type of positions, bro. Real shit. You can't push people like that. That's messed up.
That the victim swung at him with a closed right fist while possessing a phone in the victim's left hand.
Okay. And did he ever say where the knife was that he claims was there?
He provided great detail initially, looking at a map as to where he discarded this knife before saying that there was no knife.
Just for looking at that nigga's laugh, he's like, yeah, that nigga lying.
And just as the detective was getting into details about how Scotland and Davis ended up meeting that fateful night, Scotland's episode began. Eventually, his attorney told the judge another inmate allegedly slipped Scotland 3 pills before coming to court, causing the drowsiness and forcing the judge to adjourn for the day.
Asia Davis, age 36, was found dead in the Highland Park hotel room June 1st, 2023, with a single gunshot wound to her head. And I'm reading this from the article advocate.com. And again, my heart goes out to the family of Asia Davis. But I just want to ask this. Again, this is a person who is young, 17.
Yeah.
17 with a person that's 36 in another state.
It's odd. It's not. Well, 17. I mean, nah. That's nobody's even talking about the predatory aspect of that. If he's 17, I mean, he's right there, but he not of age yet.
That's usually illegal, but I did Google the legal age of intercourse as an adult. It's actually 16. So technically, this is legal.
Okay.
The issue is the young man went there with a premeditated intention to assassinate the individual, Asia Davis, when this shouldn't have happened, okay? I'm not trying to tell somebody how to feel if they feel like they have been violated or they have been tricked. And of course, you know, hey, it could take a part of a masculinity away from an individual. However, the way that they're putting these things out is, listen, this is a person of color, okay? This is a person that got, you know, a shot on the first week of Pride Week. And so this is how they're just, you know, displaying it.
Yeah, they painting it as one thing, and again, it's a terrible situation, and you know, he deserves to be locked up for what he did. There's no question that. There's no argument there. But what about what she did? They not putting out the message that she took advantage of that nigga, bro. You know, if you want to argue with the age thing, whatever. That's a conversation for a different video. I mean, it's a prevalent conversation, but we're not even gonna get into it on this video. But the fact is, or maybe I shouldn't say fact. I don't know 100%. I don't think I've seen 100%. But if this was the case, she's wrong, bro. If she was not crystal clear about you know, her transition, she shouldn't have did that to that man. Because it's like, I ain't no detective, but what's the motive? Okay, so I hook up with you one time and then I just go assassinate you the next day? For no reason? I mean, are people that crazy out there? I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's a select few motherfuckers that are that crazy, but it don't make sense. And there's such a big age gap. I think what ends up happening, and you know, I don't want to speak too much on something I don't understand, but you know, I'm just speaking freely, like how I'm thinking. I think what ends up happening is, I'm sure there's a struggle for trans women to find partners, and they end up in these scenarios where they end up dating younger guys, and they end up taking advantage of them. They end up lying to them. They end up, because it's like, again, I would like to think, I don't know the statistics, don't quote me, but I'd like to think there's probably more straight men, especially older, than there is gender fluid men, right? So they probably struggle in the dating scene to find somebody to be intimate with. So they end up preying on younger guys who are just looking at them for what they can see, and they're probably seeing an attractive woman on the outside, and they don't keep that full transparency, because it's so weird in both scenarios. And again, these are just two cases, right? But in both scenarios, it seems as if the kid was much younger than the woman, and then they were both trans. So it's weird, bro. That's a little pattern I'm seeing just off the rip. A very sad situation though, bro. At the end of the day, honesty could have stopped all of this.
So this 17-year-old young man, who obviously, you know, didn't tell the story about what really went down, was ashamed that this person, or the transgender woman, was pretending to be a woman that was born like that and didn't tell this young man.
Woodward
so he
in
goes
Highland
and gets
Park.
a gun,
Camera.
and now he's gonna face life in prison. I'm gonna tell guys this, especially if you're in some of these cities, and I'm talking about Highland Park is, you know, outside of Detroit, you in DC, you in Atlanta, you need to be very peculiar about, before you go out on these dates, you need to ask a person, were you born genetically a female? Okay, I don't care how old you are, because people with science and surgeries, folks is looking different. That way you don't have to go down this road. I got a homeboy who live in Atlanta, and he told me straight out, he only deals with chicks that are single moms. Because
confirm confirm that your body part's working,
because they had kids before. So that must mean they were born a woman. That's the only way he deal with a lady out there, is if she got kids. So
that's crazy.
That could be your approach. But again, if you make the mistakes that these guys did, people are not going to have no sympathy for you. You're going to go to jail as a convicted felon, as a convicted murderer, and they're going to go.
As you should. But we understand you, though. We hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You're wrong. It's kind of like really looking at a situation like you're dead wrong. You are dead wrong. But I know why, though. I know why you did it. I get it. I don't sympathize with you. You're wrong. But I get it. It's fucked up.
Go and say that, hey, this is a hate crime against the LGBTQ community. That's it. And the judge is going to watch you. All right. So brothers out there need to be very intentional about just don't be just thirsty. Somebody coming up to you, talking to you, giving you a lot of game. If it seems to be a little bit easier than what it normally is, then you need to ask questions so you don't get yourself involved in situations so that your life can be safe and the other person can be safe too. That's what I'm gonna tell you. All right. So guys, what do you think?
Crazy scenario, man. Crazy scenario again. Yeah, he's right. He's right. Ask questions, and then shit, maybe even do some more investigations before you believe it, because, you know, people can lie. So y'all let me know what you guys think about the situation, man. My name's Berto. I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out all the links to my channels in my description, and I'll see y'all. Peace.
Where you at, Berto?